Bada bing, bada boom.
Hi, I'm Jeff with the Halcyon Masters. Welcome to Tony's Rise, the choose-your-own-adventure story. There are 15 alternative fate and canon endings, and we're about to take the fast path through all of them. Let's hit the intro. Our adventure begins with Tony tunneling through Mount Lyell. Months have passed since Tony slammed through the last rock and into the mountain's hollow center. Yellow caution tape saying top secret still crisscrosses over the entrance. Pippa, the lead engineer, stops Tony from peeking inside, instead giving him a special assignment on the surface. With blueprints in hand, Tony reaches the Sovereign's Rise and our adventure begins. Ending number 1. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal, gives it an easy whack to break off a valuable crystal shard. Inserting the shard into his puncher, Tony gives the crystal a big hit and shatters the vein. The shards fall into a pipe and out of his grasp. With his souped up puncher, Tony gets into a fight with a treant and upon defeating the tree gets a massive buff. Ending number 2. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal, gives it an easy whack to break off a valuable crystal shard. Inserting the shard into his punchers, Tony gives the crystal a big hit and shatters the vein. The shards fall down into a pipe and out of his grasp. Those shards are worth a small fortune, so down the pipe Tony goes. Halfway down, he smells the churn. Knowing that smell means danger, Tony punches his way out of the pipe and tunnels out to the Sovereign's Rise River. Tony's safe, but cause a small ecological disaster by polluting the river with the churn. Ending number 3. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal, gives it an easy whack to break off the valuable crystal shards. Inserting the shards into his puncher, Tony gives the crystal a big hit and shatters the vein. The shards fall into a pipe and out of his grasp. Those shards are worth a small fortune, so down the pipe Tony goes. Halfway down, he smells the churn. Throwing caution to the wind, Tony continues down the pipe into Pippa's supply closet. Scooping up the shards, Tony still needs to get out without being seen, so he cobbles together a boxing robot that creates a distraction and allows him to escape. Ending number 4. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal, gives it an easy whack to break off the valuable crystal shards. Looking at the shards, Tony decides to stick one up his nose. Pow! Brilliant fireworks go off in his head and he realizes that everyone and everything is connected, and that love is the most important thing in the world. Tony wanders off alone to contemplate existence. Ending number 5. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal. That thing looks too powerful, so back to the sanctuary Tony goes. An airship lands and goblins get out. Looks like they need a leader, so Tony commandeers the ship and off to adventure they go. Heading south, Tony flies right into the Battle of the Sky Captains, where Vox quickly takes him out. Ending number 6. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal. That thing looks too powerful, so back to the sanctuary Tony goes. An airship lands, and goblins get out. Tony decides to stow away next to a box of explosives. Ravens start circling the ship, and that signals the time to exit. Jumping out onto a mountain peak, Tony finds a cave to hide from the birds. In the cave there are dragon eggs. He takes one and narrowly avoids something big. Away from Mount Lyell, he hides in the wild forest with his new dragon friend, Princess Pinkerton. This happens to be Tony's steampunk skin lore. Ending number 7. Tony turns right, sees a vein crystal. That thing is too powerful, so back to the sanctuary Tony goes. An airship lands and the goblins get out. Tony decides to stow away next to a box of explosives. Raven starts circling the ship and that signals the time to exit. Jumping out onto a mountain peak, Tony finds a cave to hide from the birds. In the cave there are dragon eggs, and Tony knows to get away as fast as possible. Ghostwing cuts him off, but there are others around. Catherine, Kestrel, Finn, and Blackfeather help him defeat Ghostwing, and it magically heals Tony to full health. With his new friends, he's off to fight more things. Ending number 8. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, and Tony decides to save all the minions. Yelling at them to stop, Tony talks the smaller minions into a union, Marching past their captain, Tony escorts the minions back to the safety of the sanctuary. Ending number 9. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, and Tony jumps into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him if he wants to explore and find a dragon. Seeing the dragon, Tony runs for his life and recruits a band of dwarfs to leave war and seek a life of enlightenment and peace. Ending number 10. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks him, so Tony jumps right into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him to explore and to find a dragon. Seeing the dragon, you follow Koshka into the fight along with Saw, Glaive, Gwen, and Jewel.
Bada boom!
With Black Claw on your side, you march to the bad guy's base and shatter the vein. Suck it, bad guys. Ending number 11. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, so Tony jumps right into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him if he wants to explore and find a dragon. A dragon? No thank you, says Tony, so he explores alone. He encounters a gold toad, steals just enough money to buy a scout cam from a shopkeeper. With the scout cam, Tony straps it to its body and goes snowboarding, nearly killing himself. From then on, he is the daredevil dwarf and makes a fortune in ad revenue. Ending number 12. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, so Tony jumps right into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him to explore and find a dragon. A dragon? No thank you, says Tony, so he explores alone. He encounters a gold toad, steals just enough money to buy a scout cam from the shopkeepers. With a scout cam, Tony hides them all over the rise and starts a reality show. His 3 best videos are a seraphim falling into the river after his own reflection, a monkey picking a wedgie, and 2 old geezers complaining about whose back hurts more. Ending number 13. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, so Tony jumps right into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him to explore and find a dragon. A dragon? No thank you, says Tony, so he explores alone. Tony encounters a gold toad, steals just enough money to buy a pair of teleport boots. Tony wills himself to his happy place, and he's transported to an island paradise. Ending number 14. Tony turns left and sees a troop of minions. A masked man with a chakram attacks them, so Tony jumps right into the fight, slamming his punchers into the man's mask. A cat girl jumps onto Tony's back and asks him to explore and find a dragon. A dragon? No thank you, says Tony, so he explores alone. Tony encounters a gold toad, steals just enough money to buy a pair of teleport boots. Tony wills himself to the center of Mount Lyell to see what is at its heart. Instead of the center of the mountain, Tony appears in front of the Storm Queen and is surrounded by her ravens. She strikes a deal. He can ask one question, and if it's satisfactory, he can go. If not, his eyes will be fed to the birds. Tony asks the question of all questions. What's at the center of the mountain? The Storm Queen reveals that it is a well of power and lets him go. Now everything makes sense to Tony, his work, the new dwarven technology, and why Pippa is trying so hard to protect him. Ending number 15. Tony walks straight and into a Grumpjaw. The hungry creature drops its bone and chases the dwarf off a waterfall, swallowing him whole in midair. A few minutes later, the Grumpjaw regurgitates the young dwarf at another dwarf's command. This other dwarf is Frankie, who takes Tony as his apprentice and vows to make him the second best engineer in the world. 15 endings and 1 epic adventure. I've linked the full story in the description. Be sure to check out your favorite path, as the written story is just awesome. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Heroic Ties. Be sure to press that like button and subscribe to be notified when the next episode is released. Until next time, we'll see you on the rise.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the finals of the tournament. We're about to have a Rowland Gaming versus Divergent Fate. Wicked Snow is still preparing the party, so I'm left here all alone. I'm your caster. PS, enough. Starting to get people on, so it shouldn't take that much longer. But welcome everyone for joining. Hope you guys been enjoying following the tournament. It's been a lot of fun casting it and watching all the games. A very long path for both of these teams. We saw a lot of interesting matchups from both Rowland Gaming and Divergent Fate. Rowland Gaming might have struggled a little bit more reaching here, but they were also up against stronger teams. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fate against Divergent Fate. Divergent Fate, one of the teams that supposedly has more probability of winning this tournament. Then again, we also said that of another team of Tox Armada, and they ended up losing against Rowland Gaming. So we have to see. Anyways, the invites are rolling out, and hopefully Wicked Snow will join me commentating relatively soon. Thank you to all the organizing team, the guys behind the Elite Order, and also the guys. Italian and Solicitude not on today. The side of Rowland Gaming, we have LSDW and Nymphax already up. We're waiting for either Rugen or Dharmikon to show up. So we have this rolling. It's a nice opportunity to check if the sound is working properly. Hopefully it is. You guys been enjoying all the graphic works of the background, courtesy of Merlini. Did a couple interesting videos. And some other works also taken from Alcyon Masters. So yeah, all we have to do is wait for people to join. We should be able to get this on the way. Just to recap the history of the games for people to reach this final. Rowland Gaming was up against Shippuden on the first elimination match. Then they were up against White Umbra, which is also a pretty decent team. They play a lot together. They had to beat Tox Armada on the semi-final last weekend. And on the side of Divergent Fate, they were up against Hell Flames. I think they had a bye on that game. Not sure anymore. Then they were up against Mo Sports, and then they won against the WinX Club last weekend to secure their spot on the final. Looks very interesting. A mix of Final Fantasy with the guy. What's he called? The guy that mixes those Disney characters. Something Hearts, Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, looks a bit like the Kingdom Hearts guy. I guess it's gonna be melee because that looked like a sword of some sort or multi-sword. But on the video, it also seemed like he had like remote activity thingy happening there. I don't know. Maybe it's his ult. Have to see how that works. So yeah, curious to see when that will.
Yes.
Okay, some people on the chat are complaining they don't have audio, so I don't know. Merlini, I'm gonna ask him to double check. Maybe it's maybe going back and forth between the application that you can't hear the. When you switch to the tournament match history scene, audio goes away. Okay. I'm gonna report that, Taka. Should be fixed. Well, okay. We won't be on the tournament match history scene much longer, so I think that's okay.
Okay, we
Okay.
have our teams in, and we have our bands. No Viola, no Sean Walker, no Catherine, and no Petal. This is gonna be
Okay.
interesting. First game in the finals.
Yep. The hype is real. Sorry about the audio issues.
hype
We're gonna
is
resolve
real.
that. We're gonna be fixing the audio, but we won't be switching between the history of the tournament that much more, anyways. So let's get on to the draft, I think.
Yes.
Get into the game. This is a best of 5, so we have hopefully 5 games overall.
Yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
There we go. Draft
Team
phase.
Rowland has come like a kind of an underdog for me. Like I didn't expect them to do this well, and look at me, like they are in the finals and been doing so good.
Yeah, definitely. They just winning against Tox Armada was the selling point for me, that they were really on top of their game. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, I think.
So we have the Black Feather taken away.
Makes sense. Black Feather's still a bit broken on 3 versus 3. Let's see what other heroes are still broken on 3 versus 3. Sky, it's quite annoying. 3 versus 3. Grumpjaw. Let's see what is the plan for Divergent Fate here. They banned
Divergent Fate was pretty smart and clever to take away the Viola from Alice. We have seen her doing massive damage with that and being annoying as a supporter as well. So kind of a respect ban, maybe, or just afraid of that crystal power Viola coming through.
Oh, we saw a few games with Viola last week, and I was not that much impressed. I know she can do damage, but I don't know. She feels too squishy for my taste. Anyways, we have Sky being picked up. Yeah. So we have a Sky being picked up, which is pretty broken on 3 versus 3, especially if you try to use it for early game aggression. So I'm curious to see if Rugen will be able to pull that off and put some pressure on early on, trying to snowball. On the side of Divergent Fate, we have Lance and Vox. Vox also got that very annoying buff. I've been hating Vox a lot on the last week. Don't know about you, Wicked.
Yeah, if he's on my team, I love him. I have to say. On the enemy team, no, not as much actually. Lyra Sky, yes.
Yeah, Lyra is good overall, and they're thinking of rounding up the composition with Kensei. Kensei is very good for the late game, so that might be a good option. Decisions. They end up picking the Kensei in the end, and now it's the ball on the side of Divergent Fate. See what they do to counter that. A lot of options they have. They can go for the Tony. Something that stuns is usually good against the Kensei. Grace can sort of work. She can land a Holy Nova and focus on hyper carrying the Vox, but they go for the Grumpjaw instead. Yes, Grump is okay. Grump versus the Kensei has the advantage on the early game, especially if you buy some weapon items on him to increase the attack speed, like Poison Shift, for example, works wonders against the Kensei. And someone decided to change their skin.
Wow. Guys, please.
Yeah, don't change skins.
You got.
Yeah, go naked on the game.
Same picks, so obviously this is gonna go faster.
Yeah.
We hope.
Draft 2.0.
So, expecting Black Feather, fast with the. Was the also really last game's
I guess it
ban?
doesn't really matter if, as long as you ban, as long as you don't pick something different. It doesn't really matter what you ban.
No, that's true.
Swap heroes?
Yeah.
Oh,
then
look
that'll-
at this. Like, I wish every game could be this fast. Like, go
Yeah.
swoosh
It
to
will
the
save us
draft.
a
Like,
lot of
don't think
time.
about it. We are a little bit late, like everybody. I know that, and I'm really, really sorry for it. But it takes some times when the game chat is broken. I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep on repeating this, that Semk and Rogue is not making this easy.
Yeah, hopefully Rogue will start to fix things up. I know they started a few fixes already, but not European chat as of yet. I heard someone say that supposedly the servers were not paid for that, and that's why it went down, and now they need to contact the person and that kind of stuff. I heard some rumor on Reddit that mentioned that. That's all I know.
The battle for the
Could be
Halcyon
bullshit,
Fold
could be
has
for real.
begun.
Who knows? Anyways,
knows?
we have an early skirmish about to happen here. Both teams position themselves around the barrier tree, and I would say that Sky might be good enough to give them enough advantage on this first skirmish. Let's see if they capitalize on that or not. Be careful not to get dived upon, though. That Grumjaw can be quite annoying. See, Barrier Tree Ant goes for the Sky. Congratulations. You won some extra gold. Now back to rotating and farming as usual. That was the excitement of the day.
Now that sounds like a little bit depressing. We just enjoy a slow start here. Like the teams are feeling each other out a little bit.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, so
Lyra
that one-
starting with a flare gun. It's always good to have vision.
Yeah, I would say it's more mandatory if you're up against Ataka, not quite against this roster, but, you know, you need vision, Vox going dangerously low there, not quite dying. Here comes a wild Grumpjaw trying to kill Alice off, and he does succeed. First blood for Crocobulia on that Grumpjaw. Excitement! See, they heard me complain, and they start with the kills immediately. That's what pro players do. Oh, Nitex wanted to do some little sneaky plays there. Rolling away from the Impale. So, Wicked Snow, tell me, what's the plan after this? Are you planning on organizing more tournaments anytime soon? Or no plans yet?
I'm gonna need a vacation first. And after that, of course, we're gonna do more.
Okay.
Have some fun ideas that I hope I can collaborate with, like some of the other fun tournament makers. I saw like some news today about another tournament like starting up, but I think that was NA, right? If I didn't get it wrong.
Yeah, there was overpowered tournament happening in NA. There was also the guys from Online Champion who were organizing something. Oh, Ruben in a bad position there. A wild Grumpjaw was right in his face. And now it's Crocodile that's forced to run away. Daka tries to help him with an Impale and a Gifkin Wall, and Rugen in a very bad position ends up dying. Rugen biting into too much Grumpjaw.
Yes, that was a little bit greedy maybe. Just a tad jumping in there, but well done. Like, it was worth a try, obviously.
Still early game, doesn't really matter. These skills are more for fun. Like, the goal difference is so little, like 1k. This is all for fun. It's not like it's serious. It's not like there's a final on the line.
No,
You just fly away, swing the katana backwards.
They have so
Try to
many
get
matches
impaled.
to fix this. No, this is gonna be fun. They are just feeling each other out.
Rugen, bad position there. Is the forward barrage. Not quite missing, not quite hitting Crocobulia there. Crocobulia with those very annoying stacks. problem with... Ooh, nice impale there from Deka, followed by Giffen Wallins. Another kill onto Rugen with that Sky. Now it's starting to feel real. Loki putting a little bit more pressure here on this turret. Needs to be careful. Kensei might dive upon him. That's indeed what he does. But he does have the flask to remain safe. Bully and Daka rotating back to their own jungle. Alcyon is peaceful once again. Oh,
not that
almost killing.
You
almost
speak
killing.
too fast.
It was curious that Loki used the boots after Kensei had done all the damage, not while he was diving. But he was safe, and now he already bought his poison ship, so he should be fine. So 5 kills to 1 early on. Very interesting respect from both teams. Sky still needs to be careful though. So already 3 kills under. Not quite the early game you would want to have as a Sky.
But we all know that she's gonna get... The further the game goes, she's just gonna get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, when you get 3 items on Sky, it's really hard to get away from the forward barrage. Just keeps scaling up. Ooh, nice impale there. Followed by a Giffen Ball as usual, like a bit too low, but Grumpjaw steps in, trying to take on someone in. She manages to swallow the Sky, but that was useful for the Sky to be able to kill someone off. She doesn't get the kill on Fox that went for the Kensei, but she will get the kill onto this Lance. She got Giffen Wall into safety as well.
They will take the first hit, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Unless a wild Grumpjaw with a pumpkin on his head has something to say about that.
Come on, guys, it's almost Christmas. You should wear this Santa hat. What is
Yeah, this is all wrong.
This
Should
is
be
the
mandatory.
winter tournament.
Oh, when is the equinox? I think technically speaking, we're still in autumn. No?
No, absolutely not. I disagree. 100%.
Just because it's the winter tournament. Another team fight coming up. Look up against
December.
Mortal Wound's not quite enough to kill this Fox off.
Lyra is
Lyra in a bad position. Kensei in a bad position. Ends up getting a Grumpjaw on top of him. The barrier was enough to keep him alive though. And now it's this guy that needs to be careful. Tries to hit enough forward barrage on the Vox, not quite enough. Gets a Giffen Wall into a wall. And the mech skeleton just collapses. We have a very dead Sky on the house info. Gold Miner should go in the favor of Divergent Fate, unless Alice can do some fancy trickery here. She does not. Just the portal. Here comes a wild Kensei. Swish, swash, swish. But the Crucible used on top of Vox. Oh, not enough. Very nice use of the ultimate there to get to the other side of the wall. Finish Vox off. Nice retribution kill for Kensei there.
And the gold lead is still really close. Like, it's just 900.
Yeah. Well, that Gold Miner really helped Divergent Fate there. They might lose the turret here, though. Here comes a wild Grumpjaw and decides to go back away. Yeah. Fox will farm. Grumpjaw will attack without stacks. That's not a good idea. He decides to back away. Smart. Check out the brains on Crocobulia. Rotation down to the jungle. The team of RPG need to rotate back up though, or they're gonna lose the turret of their own. Here comes a Kensei, trying to do some damage. The Fox bounces, doing a lot of damage there. Deka ends up dying in the middle of that mess, but Sky also seems to be pretty low. And Alice was just sitting inside the stomach all that time. Clean ace. Well, not clean. Lance did die there, but pretty good ace for Divergent Fate. Securing their first turret, and also probably this Crystal Sentry, unless the Kensei kills everyone. Yep, they decide to back off.
Guy is not far behind, so...
Yeah, better regroup, rethink, re-strategize.
Regroup, rethink. Yeah.
Yeah. Just back off. Some flare there by Alice. DW Portal trying to catch someone off guard. Kensei was on the bad side of that engage though. I saw an infusion getting popped there, so this might not be the best idea to fight against the Vox at this point. Well, Cassie also has an infusion, but it's already halfway done. Here comes a wild Kensei. Tries to put on the pain. Deka takes most of that. Re-engage. Grumpjaw finally starting to arrive. Will he arrive in time? He ends up switching the kill onto Kensei, but forward barrage just chunking at those stacks. Grugan too greedy there, but they might be able to get the kill. Oh, Crocabilia ran into a wall. Ugh. Feels bad, man. There are some positions on that crystal mine where you can go through and others where you can't. Easy crystal treant there for Rugen. Careful not to get impaled. Yeah, it's very back and forth on these team fights so far. And we are already 10 minutes in. 2 more minutes until Kraken spawns. Some flares there to check out where the enemy is. Nice forward barrage onto that Vox. And now the re-engage comes back. Deck already quite low though. Ooh, nice triple man stun from Kensei there. Trying to clean up house. But Loki has boots and intends to use them. Tries to put down a little more pain with that healing treant. But I think Sky wants this kill. Will she be able to get it? No, she won't. That was a bit of a throw. Very lucky Luki's there, though. The turret also gave a hand, and now it's Kensei on a bad spot. Will be able to get Luki's? No, he ran out of A's to finish him off. And now with Grumpjaw here, and an impale there. Nope. Alice forced to use the boots to get away to safety. Still have 1 minute until the Kraken shows up, though. Wicked. Should there be enough time to regroup?
Yes, and they have to take the gold miners back. So they just are to the last second.
Yeah. They managed to get it. It's time to get those infusions and get ready for another team fight. Deka is playing aggressive type, putting the impales there onto Rugen, but the rest of the team not quite following up. And now he's so low on energy. Grumpjaw is forced to tank that. Vox a bit out of position. The rest of the team goes over the wall to help him out. They need to back off. They have the support of their Crystal Sentry. Nice impale there, very aggressive, but not quite landing the carries that he wanted. But Kensei was wiped out, so the turnaround is real. Now is the Sky that's left alone against the Grumpjaw, and Grumpjaw on top of her with all the full stacks will not be able to finish this up. Clean ace for the side of Divergent Fate. Very well played there. They were over-aggressive, they decided to back off, and now they will have this free Kraken that's about to spawn.
Free Kraken for them.
Don't know if it's not taking a little bit too late to spawn. The Kensei is already up, so it might be actually dangerous to get the Kraken. They decide to go for the Crystal Sentry instead. Sounds good. Crystal Sentry gives a little bit of a buff. Deka will try to impale someone here. Vox is in a bad position, uses the boots to reposition himself. The reflex block to get over that ultimate. Now it's Kensei that is in a bad position, uses the ultimate to get away. Crocabilia manages to eat the support though, but he's low on stacks. He might end up dying. Nice portal to get away, but all 3 members very low, end up dying. Vox with buff there. Vox just cleaning house, and they might even finish the game. At least get this turret and then rotate to Kraken. But they have
they don't care about Kraken this moment.
One more turret?
Or
one more turret for the road? Just one more turret? Yeah, okay. Now we can go.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yep. Over the wall. Oh, Lucas is just sitting there. Could this be an ambush? They do have vision, though. That would be, yeah, forward barrage hitting there. Vox with the stacks. Didn't need to be careful. Oh, double man wall. That was all she wrote. Deck on your screen, MVP there. Those very aggressive plays with the impales and the Giffian walls. Very hard to protect yourself against. Crucible was still on cooldown. And now, I think this is the first game. Nope, he's not a Gwen. We saw a Gwen doing a comeback last week, but not this time. Sky didn't have that snowball early on, and that really cost them in these late team fights. But very well played from both teams, Wickets now.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm like looking forward to the next game now, because now I think that Rowland Gaming is gonna be a little bit more thirsty, and it's the finals. Like, of course.
Yeah, 1-0. They can still totally win. I think they demonstrated that they're quite capable of getting those team fights if they just position themselves well and finish off their builds. So let's see first who the bans are, if they're going to change it or not.
Now, good guess. So, I'm expecting maybe a Sky ban. I don't know. Maybe a Vox ban.
A Vox ban would definitely be a good idea. Lance was also quite annoying, and we've seen Deca play Lance very well. Team that they were up against, WinX, I believe. Yeah, WinX Club. So Lance ban might also be in order. Let's wait and see what they decide.
Are they sticking with the bans they already?
Little hydration break. Don't forget to stay hydrated. It's important.
It's important. Rogan is leaving. That means he's coming into Discord to tell me that. I'm sorry if I go a little bit quiet. I'm a girl, so I have a hard time focusing on two things at the same time. So I cannot speak and look for bans at the same time.
I thought women were supposed to be better multitasking. That was the rumor.
I thought so too, but for some reason I wasn't blessed with that.
Experience
we
says
have
otherwise.
a petal ban for Divergent Fate.
Didn't they already ban Petal? Yeah, they already had banned Petal the other turn. The other round. But I guess we're doing the rounds all over again, so
yes.
Let's wait and see for Rowland.
Okay, so we have a Sean from Rowland Gaming.
Rowland. Mm-hmm.
Let's
Seems
just
similar
do the
to
next
previous
one.
rounds so far. That guy's asking on the chat, where do I write the bans? Well, on Discord.
Oh, I'm just talking to him now, so I hope he knows it. He's in the right place, and not just telling like a random person like, okay, we want to ban. And Rowland goes for Catherine.
Okay, so same bans for Rowland Gaming, Churn Walker and Catherine.
And Petal and do we have?
It's gonna end up being Viola again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Viola or Vox, that is the question.
Okay, so they stick with the same, so we kind of wasted time. You could just have told me, everybody, that you were going for the same bands.
Mm-hmm.
Petal and Viola is out, and Shern and Catherine. Now we're just waiting for the players to get online again.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have more Vox.
More Vox and more Sky. So now we're waiting for Nymphex, and now we went waiting for Divergent Fates last day.
It's Luki, I think. Luki's, something like that. Any moment now.
Any moment.
If only the chat was working. If only the chat. I don't ask more much. For Christmas, all I want is a chat working in game.
All I want is to chat. Like, maybe we should make a song about this.
Yeah. I don't need any new skins. I just want chat working again. Screw Santa Tony. I just want the chat working. Everything would be so much easier, so much
So
buttery smooth. Ba-ba-bum.
Okay. See if they are making changes. Maybe someone is restarting. This is Vainglory after all. We all know that. Start up.
Yeah, just try turning it off and on again.
Oh, there we
Fixes
have.
everything.
There we have.
There we go. We're ready for game number 2.
Game number 2, same
So,
band.
yep. Same bands. Churn Walker,
Different
Catherine,
sides.
Petal, and Viola. Deploy, deploy, deploy.
Let's see if the bands here will be the same or if they do something interesting here.
What did we have on the previous match? Was Black Feather and what was the other one? Don't remember the other one.
Well, I
Black
saw
Feather
the
was one of
also
them.
last, but like I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was fast ban. Not quite. Not the first one. Oh, Sangfang. That was the other one that was banned early on.
Something.
And Lyra also getting banned. Okay. So no Lyra Adagio combos this time. Deka goes for his very well sturdy lance pick. And Rugen decides to replay the Sky. He really wants to prove that Sky is mandatory on 3 versus 3. Hope the game works out a bit better. That Sky in the previous game was not up to par. It's apparently will go for the Lorelei. On the lack of Lyra.
Lorelei Sky, that could be a wicked combination.
If Lorelei
Oh.
manages to fish food someone, that's going to be very easy for Rugen to put the forward barrage full on their face. Have the exact same composition from the side of Divergent Fate.
Yes, why change a winning concept?
They are
know
changing
it enough.
the who is playing what though. Now it's Deck on your screen that's going to play the Fox
Oh.
apparently.
Oh,
Everybody explained how to play Lance, so now it's up to Crocabulia to replay the MVP. Oh no, Crocabulia is going to be under Grumpjaw. So it's now for Loki's to replay the MVP strats that they did.
that's an interesting change because Becca did so well on the land. So
I know maybe they were a bit iffy on the positioning of some of those team fights, or they just want to switch things around so they don't get bored.
or they want to show us that
The
they
battle for
they
the
are
Halcyon
as
Fold
OP
has
as
begun.
everybody says, and they can play.
We can play any hero.
We can play any hero. Doesn't matter what you guys.
So first skirmish. Let's see if both teams go for this barrier treant, same way that they did on the previous game. They go for the back camps first. Okay, fair enough. Barrier treant getting started for Divergent Fate. Rugen needs to be careful not to get impaled there. Try to steal it. And they don't steal it this time. So it goes for, I believe, Crocabulia. Ended up getting it. Oh, nice impale there. But Kensei wants a piece of this. That dangerously low needs to be careful. Back off. already recalling. And this will give free jungle for RPG. Rowland Gaming. Kobulia wants to contest something there. Bites a little bit Alice.
I don't know if that's... Oh, they are coming. I don't know if they should have stepped down. Oh, Quincy is dangerously low.
Yep, already dead. Nice fish food there, but the Vox still has the flask on, and Rugen does not. The Impale finishes him off. Was that worth it? Was that invade worth it? 3 minions for 3 kills? Probably not. But hey, at least it makes the game more interesting. Now it's the barrier treant from the side of Rowland Gaming that gets stolen away, while Deka is just farming on the lane. We have an engage for the barrier treant. Rugen wants to steal it. Just be careful of those impales though. Ends up stealing it, well played, and wants a piece of this Grumchaw, which is forced to go over the wall. Kensei is rotating back down, wants to support his teammates on another jungle invade. I mean, Sky is supposed to be jungle invading, so they are good to be aggressive. They just need to be careful not to give any kills in return. Now it's Alice that gets caught up there.
At this moment now, they should try to focus on like taking their own farm and like secure that, and not maybe not invade.
Maybe.
The gold lead is not that big, but it's 4 kills over to Divergent fate.
Ooh, Kensei going a bit low. The barrier helps him out a little bit there. The minions prevent the recall, but he's forced to recall back home. Deka gets free push onto this turret.
Yeah, it's basically Divergent jungles. Like they cannot contest this at this moment. They claim both jungles as their own. With Poke and Lance down there, it's...
I think Rowland Gaming will have to play a little bit more passive than they intended to be, and wait for the late game. All the full 3 members of the team are here at the lane. A little bit more pressure, but now all 3 will take back down. They will have a nice engage against this Lance, already dangerously low. Crocobulia is forced to run away. The Impale gets 2 people. Is that enough for Crocobulia to finish things off? No, it's not. Rugen will manage to get a kill on this Lance. No, he won't.
Kensei is really probably gonna go down.
Yeah, Kensei was left alone with Crocobulia. Now Crocobulia decides to go away and then re-engage. Needs to be careful not to overstay his welcome. Surrounded by all 3 members, tries to get a kill, a desperate kill onto Nymphax, not quite securing that. Maybe try to steal this barrier treant. Doesn't do that either. Kensei gets it, and the barrier manages to keep him alive. Luki's wanted to impale finish that Kensei, ends up getting in the scopes of Sky. Now he's forced to take on some of those hits on the forward barrage, making his way back to his own jungle. Gives up one of those little minions, forced to pop the boots, but the Crystal Sentry is already up, and will be able to keep him alive. Oh, why did he come back? Bad mistake from Lucas there. Crocobulia wanted to re-engage. Lucas wanted to support him, but they ended up overextending. Free kill. Now Crocobulia is the one overextending against this Kensei. Just be careful, not get stunned up by everything. By the bee from Sky, by the fish food from Lorelei. Let's get aggressive into this jungle. Rugen finishes his rotation. Just be careful not to get impaled. He manages to get away. Very interesting game early on. A lot of back and forth jungle invades. Now it seems to be culminating on this gold miner getting started up by Divergent Fate. Let's see if Rugen manages to rotate and try to steal it. Doesn't seem like it. Nope, decided to focus on trying to save the turret. Or Alice at least is trying to do that against this Vox. Try to slow down the Vox. Here comes the forward barrage trying to finish him off. Just one more hit. And not enough. Well, in the end, they managed to get the kill with the help of
But-
Kensei.
Thickest movement around there made it really hard for them.
Yeah, Vox managed to survive a very long time against that Sky. Now it's Kensei is a bad position, doesn't get slammed against the turret, so he'll be able to not get stunned. He does get eaten by Crocobulia though. So back into the turret you go. He's forced to use the ultimate, try to get away, but gets gifted walled against the turret. A very dead Kensei we have there. Look is not quite on point, or as on point with those impales as Divergent Fate was, but let's see if he is more so on the later team fights that will matter more. Missing another one. Meanwhile, Deka finished off this first turret. It's in the scopes of Sky though, let's be careful, but the forward barrage not quite connecting. Now connecting, Crocobulia is trying to come and help him, but doesn't arrive on time. Ooh, nice double man impale, followed by a Giffen wall bear by Lukis, but they decide to get away. This Kensei is hungry for kills, and a lance is just what the doctor ordered. Manages to get away though, but Crocobulia is left there. Ooh, another nice impale. Try to get away, but they drag you back in. Now it's Fox that ends up dying. 3 kills! 3 kills for Rowland Gaming, a clean ace. They get... It seemed everything in favor of Divergent Fate, but they ended up giving clean ace, and now the goal difference is not that big anymore.
Maybe, I don't know, but maybe it feels like Divergent Fate is getting like a little bit overconfident, and like it's small mistakes that's gonna cost them if they don't start
Being more careful.
having
Yeah.
some more respect for the other team, I would like to say.
Yeah.
Because these
Definitely.
are good players.
Yep. Need to be careful. Don't stay out of position. Gonna do another jungle invade, but there is camera there to spot it. They decide to go for the gold miner instead. Rowland does have vision though. They might come here and contest it. Rugen is arriving. Kensei has the buff. Fishwood connecting onto Vox. This might be a very dead Vox. Kensei just slashed him back and forth. And now Grumpjaw forced to spit out the Sky. Gets targeted down. No stacks left. He just dies. And the turret is next. Lance trying to secure some of his jungle. We go 1 versus 3 without the Crystal Sentry. Might be a little bit risky. Tries to secure some of that jungle, but missed. Sky ended up collecting, and now it's Vox that is low once again. But nice Giffian wall there, helping Vox finish up this team fight, cleaning off Kensei and also Alice. The ultimate also silencing the Sky, forcing her to stick around just a little while longer, as all 3 members of Divergent Fate will collapse upon her. Gonna try to get one kill against Vox. No escape. No escape whatsoever. And now it's the ace for the other side of the team. So a lot of back and forth team fights here, making a very interesting game. Kensei forced to use his A over the wall, get away.
But he
This
gets
Vox,
away.
yeah, he does indeed. Vox starting to do some damage. 2 items already online, Poison Shield and the Breaking Point. Might be out of position here. All 3 members will collapse upon him.
Oh,
Still alive. How is he still alive? Oh my god. The Kensei ultimate a little bit too late. The buff really helped him to stay alive, Vox, and now it's Rugen that is forced to fly back away.
Another kill.
Ooh. You can just play Vox 1 versus 3 apparently.
Well, when you have like 2 tanky other heroes with you and just stand in front, like you can do all his damage from a little bit from behind.
Focus with an impale there. Sky trying to catch someone off guard. Not quite connecting. That's a nice choke point for Lukis to get a triple impale. He only gets a double. Gifted wall slammed, and Vox will make a very nice beating out of this. Kensei manages to clean him up though before he manages to do enough damage, and now Lukis and Crocobulia are left going on the run. Lukis tried to prevent damage of Kensei. Crocobulia very sneakily over the wall there, trying to get away. But they're both
But
very low on energy.
Alice and Nimbic will not let them go. They will
Yeah.
chase them down here.
And Lorelei with all that crowd control, it's very hard.
And now here comes Becca. I would run, guys.
While Deka shows up, trying to kill Lorelei first. Now he's going to set his sights on Kensei. That did not manage to finish any one of the rest of the team off, and doesn't manage to finish Vox either. Now it's Sky that comes to clean someone up. Will she be able to get someone? Trying to get Deka, but the zoom gets him out of range, and now the damage is just big. Those stacks doing damage, 14 stacks on that breaking point, enough to melt the Vox with 2 hits. Very bad for Rowland Gaming right now. I mean, the Kensei is doing his work, but it just seems like that the position is not quite there. They're always one step behind of Divergent Fate. Another Crystal Sentry going for this Vox. It's gonna be really hard to engage upon him. We've seen a few team fights where Kensei managed to get a clean engage onto Fox and just wipe him out real quick. Those are the team fights that went somehow in the favor of Rugen. Whenever this Vox stays alive, it's just GG. Now the Kraken has arrived, Impale missing there. The rest of Rugen will rotate down. Kokabulia putting down some pressure, trying to cause a team fight. Impale coming down onto the Kensei, the Crucible not coming out at the right time. Kensei almost dead, is forced to run away from the Vox.
Down and... Oh no.
Everyone is down. Vox just
Everyone
cleaning
down.
house. Oh, nice fish food there. Delaying the inevitable. The Impale finishing off. They don't care about the Kraken. They just go right ahead into the turrets. No, they decide to reevaluate their life, go shopping, and now go for the turrets.
Shopping is always the solution for every problem.
Shopping is important, especially in the holiday season,
Yes.
to make sure you get all those gifts in time. Sky's already up though, so I don't know why they didn't do the Kraken.
I think this is... they are overconfident. They don't need the Kraken at this moment.
Let's see if this Impale connects, which it does not. Both Boots getting pooped, trying to get someone, and Kokabulia manages to eat someone, which was the support. So Lorelei in a bad position in the middle of everyone, manages to pitch food. Kokabulia goes down on that Grum Shot. Deka needs to be careful. No, he doesn't. He just kills the Sky straight away, and that's it. The Kensei might have something to say against that, but not enough attack speed to finish him off. Those Atlas Pauldrons going to good effect, shutting him down, and that's game 2 in the favor of Divergent Fate. Wicked.
I think Rowland Gaming needs to change something up if they want to have a chance in this game.
Yeah, at least give up the Sky. They don't want to let her pass. At least ban her and pick something else. It's clearly not working. It seems that Divergent Fate has a very good luck on how to shut her down properly. So I would recommend at least Rugen to pick something else. Or not. I mean, if he's confident that he just missed something crucial on these past 2 games that he will not miss for sure on the 3rd game, I mean, go for it. But I would pick something else.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so let's see about that. If there's gonna be.
Do we have ban changes or not? Members of teams are going to Discord to assemble and figure out the bans.
We will have Rowland Gaming first.
Deka is bragging on his Fox kills on the chat.
Well, he is allowed. I'm just gonna say he's allowed to do that.
He's also bragging on his lands.
Yeah, he's allowed to do that as well.
Yep. Feels bad for Sully, though. I thought Sully was missing, but apparently he's Loki's. Just his Smurf account, I guess.
Let's see if there is a ban coming. So they are not hesitating. They are banning Grump and they are banning Vox.
Okay. Grump and Vox. What about the enemy team?
It's a bit jumping around here in different.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? It usually works. I hope to see a different team from the side of Divergent Fate. I mean, we already seen this composition 2 times. But on the other hand, if the enemy team can't deal with it, play it again. Grump Fox for Rowland. I think it's for Rowland, yeah. Merlini is confirming or asking for confirmation.
Now, waiting. Divergent. Okay, they keep it original, so they go for Viola and Petal.
Okay. So Grump, Fox, Viola, and Petal are the ones that are banned. Let's go for game number 3 of the finals. Now it's do or die for Rowland Gaming. Either they win this game, or they lose the finals altogether.
And I switched sides with them, right? So we are on the right place.
Yeah, they're back on side A.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Hi, I'm Jeff with the Halcyon Masters. Welcome
should
to
be ready.
Tony's
and
Ride.
Kuka and Keys wins now. They are the winners of WTS. But I hope that Rowland Gaming can give us some other things happening this game, so we get like another game. Make it more exciting. Come on,
Someone
guys!
on
I
the
have
chat.
faith in you.
Someone on the chat is asking if battle ban is serious or for fun. Well, on 3 vs 3 is serious because you can snowball it very strongly.
Yeah.
And also at the same time that you snowball it on the jungle very strongly on the early game, on the late game it serves as a healer for whatever melee hero you have on the rest of your composition. So yeah, battle is real on 3 vs 3. Just try to get the game going.
For private draft. Yeah, it's amazing.
Need to find a party.
I guess not. Let's try that again. We didn't even get to the skin switches, so good stuff. Okay,
There we go.
Here we go.
Draft.
I hope this is not the last game. I really hope for Rowland Gaming to.
We one full
This is
5-game
mad.
series, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
More entertainment. It's been a pretty good matches, though. It hasn't been like a complete land style. Divergent Fate managed to win on both occasions, but the Rowland Gaming put up a good fight on both of those matches. The bans apparently go for Lyra and Shirtwalker. And the Catherine getting picked up was the one pick from Rowland Gaming that was left that they kept banning on the previous 2 matches. So apparently they're pretty confident on her. Deca wants to troll with the flicker. He's gonna troll with the flicker. Thank you, Deca.
But why do
That's
we call
important.
it a troll though? Maybe he I seen his box now. I seen his lands. I have full confidence in him on Flicker.
Even if Flicker's not a troll pick, the way Flicker plays, like just sticking onto you and not letting you do anything, it's already a troll play. So he shouldn't be a cat. He should technically be a troll. Talking about cats, we have Sen Feng, a slightly bigger cat for the side of Rowland Gaming. It's gonna be interesting to see who plays what in what role. A lot of crowd control so far for the side of Rowland Gaming. The scarf for Divergent Fate.
Oh.
Ooh, Cruel, eh?
Cruel and Flicker. And didn't expect to see that in.
I mean, Scarf and Cruel is a combo we've seen a lot of times in the past. Not on the recent patches, though. And not with a Flicker. But, okay. Let's see what they managed to do with it. Maybe they're just trolling us. Or maybe they have, like, a secret combo that I haven't figured out yet.
A secret combo. Maybe they are the secret combo. That's kind of what scares me here. It doesn't matter what they play because they're gonna just do it awesome anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't want to use the word dominate, but yes.
Being incredible.
Come on, Rowland Gaming. You guys got this. I have faith in you.
You have to believe.
We have to believe.
Dragon is zoning out the place. I love how Scarf just puts down, put his feet down on the bushes, like to hide himself. So cute. Anyways, Barrier Treant is gonna start here. Crocobulia is gonna take a few chunks at it, but no, they decide to rotate down and just try to kill Alice DW instead. Then go back down and try to kill Nymphex instead, or just take the Barrier Treant and stop distracting stuff. Scarf getting stunned up there. I don't think we'll have any first kill. Ruben needs to be careful though. It's getting a bit low. The Flicker's so annoying. Here we go. The troll wins in the end. The damage from Sen Feng not enough to do any retribution kills. And the turret also not quite finishing off the Lukis there. So first blood for the side of Divergent Fate.
I'm kind of curious how this is gonna play out.
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
don't know what to say about that combination with Cruel and Flicker.
I'm still trying to figure out who plays what.
That's just mean. That's just mean.
I mean, it helps the Cruel stay on target. Like, if no one can move, the Cruel will have a much better time.
Exactly. Of course he will have.
But then
a good
again,
time.
Cruel is kind of nerfed with the changes they did to the healing system. Here comes a wild Flicker again, trying to secure Rugen not to go anywhere. Alice still tried to use his palm, but not enough. So I think this is a good prediction of how the game was gonna go. Flicker gonna annoy the living crap out of you, and you can't go anywhere, so you have to stick on the lane. And now Crocobulia is just gonna camp here.
If Flicker actually slows you, then the panic is gonna start building because you know Cruel is gonna be around. Like, you cannot get away. This is a bully.
3 versus 2. Crocobulia tries to get a kill out of the 3 versus 2. Palm's gonna shut him down. But Nymphex dangerously low. He might end up dying. Not quite. Finally get a retribution kill. But Lucas took this wild opportunity to push the lane a little bit more. Missing that Barrier Treant though. Which will end up going for the enemy team. Ooh, a nice stun there. Trying to keep Nymphex alive, not quite working. The Palm ending up finishing him off, and now Rugen's forced to pop the boots. Run away, run away. You have a dragon on your tail. And you step on fire, you're gonna get burned. So beware, Rugen.
Words of wisdom. You step on fire, you're gonna get burned.
Yep.
Exactly what's going on here.
Fireball on your face. Now it's Lucas that's overextended. We're gonna have a re-engage here. But we have a dead Sen Feng to compensate. Nymphex wants to kill everyone. Meanwhile, here comes the Cruel. Cruel also wants to kill everyone, and Kinetic looks nice. Not quite finish her off, but now she managed to do it. Rugen recalls. Still looking at Bill, trying to figure out who is doing what, if we have two supports, or what the hell is this from the side of Rowland Gaming, because both Catherine and Sanfeng have the Storm Crown. Working on the Storm Crown. So curious how that will evolve. If someone will do eventually, I guess it's the Catherine that's gonna do some fountain or something.
I don't know much about builds. Like, I'm kind of a noob in all this, but the flicker build, like, is going for the previous build?
Yeah, because Shiver still slows you down even more, so it's like it's impossible to get detached from Flicker. So yeah, that's smart. Yeah, total bullying.
Yeah. And they are going Crystal Power Cruel and we're gonna have
Crystal Power Cruel is the one that I find interesting. But then again, I haven't seen that many Cruels being played recently, so they might be on to something. They might have practiced this. Let's steal some more Barrier Treants here. LSDW did not see that coming. Luke is still putting down the pressure on the top lane. Couple members who rotate. Daka cleaning up that vision there. And now a Cruel is sitting in your bush. Be scared. Be very scared. Gonna try to dive onto Nymphex. He tries to get away, but the stun is real. Catching that Flicker. Goodbye, Flicker. Thanks for all the fish. The palm not quite connecting, or not fully connecting, but Crocodile seems to be going down anyways. A nice reversal here from Rowland Gaming, shutting down the troll comp from Divergent Fate. Nice reflex block there, making sure he stays alive, not getting stunned. It's just like it has a sliver of health. Here comes Deka trying to finish off Nymphex. Not quite doing enough damage. A nice reversal though here, Wicked. Some signs of life from Rowland Gaming.
Yeah, I cannot blame like Rowland Gaming. They must like wonder what's like going through the other team's head right now. Cruel and the Flicker. I have like still a hard time getting over it. But yeah, I hope that they can like turn this around and just win.
Rugen in a bad position once again, already halfway through his health, but Flicker decides to get away. And Lucas has to rotate to clean up his jungle. It's a bit low now. Needs to be careful not to get stunned up by the Catherine. All three members are there. Rugen is gonna get caught up into Flicker once again. No. Just the barrier. Here comes a wild. Alice tries to shut down that Scarf, not quite connecting. Ooh, the triple bound there. Very nice. Not quite enough to kill anyone off though. But as I said, that's cool. Yeah.
Yes.
Now Deka needs to be careful, and no fountain to keep him alive. Here comes a wild Scarf, burninating through the land onto this Kinetic. Do we have Kinetic Barbecue? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. LSDW trying to finish off.
They are so low. Scarf. They are so low, and somehow they just... Wow.
But the cat manages to get a retribution kill. Not quite the Scarf that he was aiming for, but one kill is better than no kill. Pretty interesting engages, like, considering the compositions that we are up against. I'm taking a look at the build from Cruel. He's going for Shatter Glass. Apparently he wants to do a lot of damage on that B of his. So just get a few hits, use the B, and try to finish someone off that way. I think the main point is like this distracting people from the Scarf, and Scarf does the actual work. I think that's the main point that they're trying to get across. Let's see if it comes out here. Oh, nice ultimate there from Sanfeng once again, but also the ultimate flying out from the Cruel. Scarf dangerously low, forced to use the flask and the boots.
The boot.
And Deka doesn't have anything.
The other team also has boots.
Oh, he has the Crucible. He used the Crucible there. Try to stay alive. Or the Reflex block. Oh, nice ultimate from Kinetic. Cleaning up the Scarf. Crocobullia left alone, 1 versus 3. He's gonna try to do something. I'm not sure what. Try to kill this Rugen. Or just trying to kill himself. Uses the Reflex block. Tries to get away. He's just buying himself some time. Silenced and on a sliver of health. Here comes a Wild Flicker and a Scarf.
Him go?
Apparently. Kinetic dies in the end. And Cruel manages to get away.
I don't know about all the watchers like watching this, but I could never manage to get away with that little life. Like, Vainglory probably hates me or something, because no, that would never happen.
There would be like a minion coming to you and giving you a hit or something.
Yes, that has happened. So these guys are just not only skilled, they have pretty decent amount of luck as well, I would have to say.
The gods of luck are on their side. Back in a bad position there. Is gonna get 3 versus 1, forced to use the boots, going to get away. The ultimate from Kinetic trying to finish him off, not quite connecting. Sunfang tries to finish him off. The palm not quite reaching, and Crocobullia is there to help him out. Just gonna be able to recall back home. So yeah, now you can see the Sunfang build a bit more clearly. It's like mixed CP and the base damage, which is good. Just does a ton of damage with his abilities. He also naturally does that, so it's gonna get a bit low here. But Reef goes up against the Scarf. Re-engages from Hell's Heart, now hitting onto that Kinetic. Barbecue not quite online, and ends up being an ace for the side of Divergent Fate. Or is it?
I hope Rowland.
Yes. But that was a very interesting team fight, like going back and forth. Kinetic was full on, doing a lot of damage, ended up killing the Scarf before Scarf had the time to use the ultimate. And overall, the ultimate, the combo between the Flicker and the Cruel does work to delay your opponents or annoy your opponents enough to manage to finish them off. And that Shadow Glass on the Cruel definitely does a lot of damage. Might have another team fight going on here. In fact, trying to zone out who is what. Flicker running out of time on his cloaking. The nice stun onto Scarf there. The reversal onto Kinetic. Need to be careful, trying to go down away, but just slowed down like hell by the 2 members of Divergent Fate. And now it's the big cat that gets caught in the fray. Very hard to get away from those engages.
Really needs to build some defense at this.
Yeah, either the flux thingy or the slumbering husk. Yeah, you know, the first item of defense that you have on the list. Something flux. Or flux something. Yeah. It's the thingy with the blue thingy with the green background. Might have another team fight coming out here. Rugen in a bit of bad position. But Deck already low, so low that the Kinetic just makes mincemeat out of him. And now it's Crocobullia that tries to get a piece of this Kinetic, but the Kinetic's just firing so fast. No Atlas Spaldrum applied to her. And a good reversal. Ultimate gonna bite that Scarf with the buff. He uses the reflex block to get away. Oh my god, he's still doing some kills. And now Kinetic versus Scarf, the dragon wins. That buff really helps Rugen. Desperately tries to stay alive, uses the bubble, uses the A, uses the flare. I use everything. And manages to stay alive.
But the Scarf is not here. See? He lost.
That was a very lucky Scarf there.
And a very lucky Catherine.
Yeah. 12 to 19, 3K gold lead advantage for the side of Divergent Fate. 2-0. They are leading this series, so if they win this game, it's goodbye for Rowland Gaming. We might have another engage here. Deca is already on top of Kinetic, tries to run away. All 3 members, or 2 members, get caught up into that ultimate from Sun Fang. Now he uses the boots, trying to get away. Manages to get away from the fireball at least, which is a good start. Kokabulia wants a piece of this turret. And the Burninating through the land. Here comes a Wild Scarf. Gets stunned up against Sun Fang, but not enough damage to finish off this little dragon. He's gonna take another kill.
And Sun Fang has no defense, so...
Yeah, that's the problem. He's doing enough damage, but he just melts in front of whatever your opponent does. Now they're just zoning around, trying to catch someone off guard. Is Nymphax maybe? Just use the zoom to get back away. Almost gets caught up on those fairy dusts there. But now it's Lucas that needs to be careful. But Nymphax is 1 versus 3, so he also needs to be aware. Nice body block from Kokabulia there, making sure that Lucas is still left alive from Hell's Heart, just to delay things. Oh, another fireball to the face.
Oh.
And a reflex block forced to use, but not enough to keep Kinetic alive. Such a well-timed fireball. Oh, and a flask keeps Scarf alive there. This might be the end of the game. The ultimate there, but he dies before he manages to pull that off. Deca gets stunned up underneath the turret, but... Oh my god, he takes turret shots after turret shots and always stays alive. This Scarf is just ridiculous. Another turret, choke point is gone.
Are one lucky team.
Yeah, these a lot of interesting team fights back and forth here. A lot of lucky members on both sides of the fence. But I mean, it's all about the skills on those engages, trying to get away real quick. And it's so hard to disengage once the Flicker and the Cruel are onto you. All 3 members rotating back down. This might be a team fight for the Kraken. You don't have vision. They have a flare now. They see all 3 members coming. Bubble is popped. The Flicker is there, trying to make mincemeat. Palm getting used. The ultimate getting used, but the Crucible also online. And the Kinetic is just dust. And the other 2 members don't have enough damage to finish off either the Scarf. They might be able to get the Flicker kill, which is something. But not the kill you want to be able to prevent this Kraken from coming online. Gonna get a Crystal Sentry first. And now going for the Kraken.
Go for the Kraken.
Just something is missing from Sandfang. I agree with you that it's probably defense. Maybe if he had a little bit more defense to sustain a little bit longer in those team fights, he would be able to do a little bit more damage.
He have a block when he's using his ult to make sure that he gets it.
He hasn't been stunned when he's using the ult. It's more... I don't know. I don't know really what he needs to do. They have good kits to keep Kinetic safe, but then when Kinetic is dead, they immediately lose the team fight because they don't have enough defense to sustain themselves. Here comes the ultimate Moon Cloak from Flicker. You need to use the boots and get away. Sanfeng might get caught up here, trying to use the B against the Scarf, trying to boom down some damage, force them to get away. They might be able to get to safety. This Kinetic wants a little bit of retribution, ends up focusing the... Yeah, probably focus the Kraken. Now it's Catherine that's dangerously low. The Crucible gets popped up to avoid that ultimate. Nice counter on the Burninating from Scarf, but from Hell's Heart of Cruel, hitting dead in the face that Kinetic, and with the Kinetic gone, it's GG, well played. Third game for Divergent Fate and the series of this tournament.
Yes. Amazing comp with Vainglory and Flicker and Scarf ends this tournament.
It's real.
Big
the composition is not a troll.
Divergent Fate. Making this last match interesting, and I'm scared of Flicker now
Always be
Don't
scared
want to
of
meet
Flicker.
that. Don't want to meet that combination. Flicker and Krull in 3v3s.
Yeah,
But it's
definitely. The
been good. It's
composition
been
really worked.
fun games,
I-
and I'm really happy to say that Rowland Gaming came so far in this tournament. They did really well, and I'm happy for all you guys that have been here watching. And he is enough. Thank you enough for being here casting.
You're welcome.
Done an amazing job.
Was a
And
pleasure.
I hope everybody has had some fun.
Yep, that's all there is at the end of the game. We hope you guys had some fun. All these matches watching and playing. And we're going to see when the next tournament is going to be up. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody, for joining up. And of course, the organization for setting up the tournament in the first place.
This was awesome, guys. Have I'm still gonna say it's winter, so everybody have an awesome Christmas and everything, and we will see you back early next year.
Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Take care.
Bye.